The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty. This one's more of a rant. Really didn't plan on doing this video, but looking through some of the groups I'm in, definitely I've touched upon this before, but I'm touching upon it again, and I'll keep touching upon subjects until people start listening. Um, Going through things and found a couple of different videos where teachers are bragging that they're forcing their kids to use pronouns. These are not even middle school or high school students. These are elementary age students, second grade, first grade. Grades they really shouldn't be don't even really understand anything like that, but they're going to force it upon them anyway. Like I said before, there's a difference between indoctrination and education, and this is clearly not education. Oh, I'm forcing my kids to use pronouns. Oh, and I'm telling them to keep it a secret from unsafe adults. Who's the unsafe adults? Parents? So let me get this straight. We have teachers telling students not to tell their parents what they're doing in the classroom. If you have to hide it, then it can't be good. It's no longer an education, it's an indoctrination. Of course, that's what the government wants. Indoctrinate kids so they can't think for themselves to go against the government when the government says, now listen to us, we know what's best for you. Remember, this is the same government who wants to give 16-year-olds, or Democrats want to give 16-year-olds the right to vote, but say that 18-year-olds are not mature enough to handle a firearm. They're not mature enough to vote either. And you know that. That's why you want to coax them so they can vote for you and so you stay in power and control. If you truly cared about democracy, Democrats, and this is for every Democrat, then endorse term limits for Congress. We have it for presidents. Of course, they won't do that because they want to stay in control and in power and get all those kickbacks they're getting. But back to the teacher point, it's no difference than what the teachers in Nazi Germany did or Stalin's Russia. Now remember, it's called an indoctrination, but don't tell your parents what you're learning. Of course, they said it in Russian and German accents and Russian and German. And now it's happening in the left America. All the leftists is the ones that say is telling the kids not to tell your parents. Why do you have to hide it if it's the right thing to do? Just saying. And like I said, this was more of a rant than a video. Didn't plan on doing this, but had to get my opinions out there. And I love how, people say, well, you're pushing your agenda. No, these are my opinions. And a lot of them just happen to be right. And like I said, if you don't believe me, research. You always say follow the science, but then you say there's 150 genders, even though science says there's an X and Y chromosome, which makes 2. But guess what? I'm following what's happening in the world. And like they say, history repeats itself. Why do you think they don't want to teach history? Because if you actually taught the history of what happened in Nazi Germany and Stalin Russia, you see it's happening here in America with the teachers pushing the government agenda. But don't take my word for it. Look it up. And if you have any comments, feel free to put it in the comment box. I always say like, share, subscribe. If you don't like the video, don't subscribe, don't share. You're not hurting me. Ooh, whoopie-doo. I didn't gain a follower. I'm not the government. I don't need followers to know what's right and what's wrong. Any topics you'd like me to discuss? brothersofliberty76@gmail.com. Or put it in the comments as well. I mean, that's what they're there for. And I am the older brother of liberty, reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be.